could go back in time and talk to junior high Steph to give her just 3 tips that would help her learn that math a little bit easier, these would be them. Tip number 1, have structured time for learning and don't overdo it. I was notorious in junior high, high school, and possibly college for doing all of the homework that I really enjoyed and leaving all of the rest of it for the very end of the semester. That meant that I would blitz through an entire year's worth of English, spelling, reading, etc., and then suddenly be having to do all of the math and science that I had put off all year long in a week. And while it's okay and even helpful to be able to structure my work so that I can really focus on the things that I really, really love working on sometimes, what this would also lead to was really long days of me just trying to muscle through learning something. I'm sure not a single one of you can relate. Even in my personal life now and business life now, I still find myself sometimes leaving things for last minute and then trying to cram it in and even pushing longer and longer hours in order to get everything done on time. But the problem with this is we end up with diminishing rates of return. So having structured time and not overdoing it, forcing yourself to work for 15 to 20 minutes and then taking a break can actually be really good for your brain and help increase your retention and your ability to apply that information down the road. In short, have a plan for when you're going to learn, how you're going to take breaks throughout that learning period, and when you're going to stop trying to learn so that you can actually start to retain and implement. Number 2, give yourself a closed space to study in if you're trying to focus, or an open space to study in if you're looking to support a little extra creativity. There's something really powerful about me just having everything right here and super focused when I'm trying to focus, study, write, read, edit, etc. And there is something equally inspiring and thrilling about having a massive open space as I sit on the floor with papers and pens all in front of me to try and get creative on whatever it is I'm working on next. And last but not least, this may not work all the time, but one thing I found that works really well for me is to give myself a reward when I get started. Now the caveat here is that reward cannot have anything to do with sugar or alcohol, okay? But giving myself some variety of a reward before I get started allows a boost of dopamine in the brain, which then allows me to actually focus a little bit more so I can study more. It also allows me to move things from working memory to long-term memory just a little bit easier. So because I'm able to focus, I can actually internalize that information so I can recall it down the road. A little reward goes a long way. The nice thing about being ADHD is I'm going to be learning for the rest of my life how to work with my ADHD. And that gives me lots of opportunities to find and practice these types of tools just in case they can help you, just like they help me. And there is something equally rejuvenating